Greetings, this is Gilles Mancier. I wanted to come and say hello today to wish you a good day. I'm going to pull a few cards for the day. For today, it's a day that should be for relaxation. It's a new moon in Pisces. We're really new moons are like 3 days before, 3 days after. There is this whole process of start of a new cycle, and so it is good to set our intention to know what we are seeking. And we're going to pull a few cards for the day. The card for the day is nothing less than the phoenix, the sun, the rebirth, the eternal resurrection. We can always die in one state. We'll always be reborn to another state. It is this eternal understanding and knowledge. And here it is the consumption of being whole, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the soul and the astral body, being one and one and in complete union, and it is actually orgasmic here. It is like the phoenix is rising. It is a Buddha that's winged with the solar energy that radiates from his head. So the power of the phoenix is something we learn to use to be reborn to a new state every day. What is in the invisible world that will come into the picture is the cosmic carrot. It means the universe will show us where we're going, and it is like a direction. The future does not exist. The future is a state of possibility, probability. As soon as it becomes something else than a probability, it becomes the present. For all the future is has to be everything in the future has a seed in the present. For something to be future has to already be present in some form of some others, and therefore, how we feel a desire, we follow that in order to find fulfillment. This will come into the physical world. What we see on the visible world actually right now is still a period of, it is like a dark night of the soul. It is the soma, it is the moon, it is a phallic mushroom here. It is a dark night of the soul. It is the time where we need to go through all the illusion, to eliminate the illusion. We have to pass through them, and in order to find the light at the end of the tunnel. It is better explained by Dante Alighieri, the great poet, Renaissance Italian poet, when he has to go through hell and then purgatory, where he finds his beloved, and then he ascends into heaven. But before that, he has to go through hell and not being distracted by the shadows of the night. To know that God is with you, and there is nothing to fear. There can be false vision, false projection during those times. Not to pay attention to anything that's not enjoyable. It is a process of releasing all kinds of old energies that are connected to past life and subconscious creation. So it is important to allow, to not be afraid of all those shadows that may manifest, and to allow to stay serene, to pass through it, and then you'll see there is a great light behind the tunnel. Right, what we are working on right now is the living goddess. It is the essence of beauty, the essence of eternal life. She's so beautiful that she cannot even be looked at in the eye, because her vision is so transcendental. So we look at her from outside, from far, we contemplate the beauty, but we are getting closer to that ability to get more of that, which is that beauty, that truth, that goodness. For we know that those things, truth, beauty, and goodness, is an expression, divine expression, but all things from a philosophical point of view, from Plato onwards, we know that things have beauty, have truth, and have goodness, but they are not that. We are just extension of that great source. And what will come out of that process is the desire to test all the best things of life. Here we have peach. It's the elixir fruit, the essence. It is a peach surrounded by caviar. So it is about testing the best of life, but it's also about discrimination. For it is important to not give in to those things that are taking away from us, whether it is people, situation, habits, beliefs, all those things. In many sense, if we want to move into the future, we have to face the past with compassion and let go, release it, in order to be able to move into a space of total fulfillment, total enjoyment, where we are free to choose whatever we like in order to explore it. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wanted to speak very briefly to say that in terms of we are eternal soul, but we do not know that. We believe ourselves to be egos, so self-residual image. We have a certain knowing of who we are, yet we do not know ourselves. For once we know we are as a soul, we know our connection to the Creator, and our soul is connected to the body by a silver strings. When the lifetime is over, the string is cut, and the soul returns to the realm of light. Essentially, the human equation is a mental and emotional physical, mental, and emotional. That's physical, mental, and emotional aspect, and eventually we want to align those. When the physical and the mental and the emotional are aligned, then everything's at peace. There is already peace within ourselves. We just got to allow it to happen, make it happen, and what will happen from there is we'll learn to use more efficiently our astral body, to be able to travel in the universe through astral body, to see, hear, feel, see, sense things. For not just by inside our physical body, we'll be able to move around in our astral body. For astral body rules all the physical planes of the earth, and it is also the counterpart to the soul. For the soul, the astral body rules the navel chakra, and the soul rules the heart. And Spirit once showed me that those two can be united and connected, and it feels ecstatic. In the Buddha, those things have been happening. The Buddha has found a way to maintain that in a constant form. That's why it's always in constant orgasm, cosmic orgasm, or ecstatic bliss. But in many sense, I know this thing is there. I just haven't found a way to completely reconnect those two parts yet. But once those two parts are in alignment, we move into a higher realm of the soul, which is the fifth dimensional light body. And the fifth dimensional light body is an eternal spirit self, eternal soul self, which has never ceased to exist, for it cannot. And so we are just a fragment of that consciousness, of that great spirit soul that we are. For we are in eternal truth. We all come from eternal divinity, and that's the only true identity we can ever find is God. There is no other identity. That everything is temporal illusion outside of that, and God is love. There is no divine, pure, unconditional love, mercy, and ministry. I am that you are, and you are that I am, for we are one. But in many sense, we are all unique creation, and the universe could not exist without us, no matter what we believe about ourselves. So we want to unify our thoughts to the love of the one, to merge into that great sphere of non-form, that great light of the origin. As we become more free, we allow ourselves to project ourselves into these higher planes. And so we need to clear up the heart and know that this is part of it is part of a process. We cannot we go as far as we can, then we return to center, and then we go again. No, just wanted to say just a final word to say that I love the internet and all those little gadgets in electronics, but it is important that it does not become too addictive to the point where we forget to develop our inner psychic internet, to all our spiritual psychic abilities, and so because that's much more fulfilling and it's more powerful than anything else. For the internet is still wonderful. It's a wonderful platform to communicate, to share ideas, to unify the world. But it is much more. It's in many sense we want to stay focused on the light, to align our chakra, and to follow the voice of the heart, to follow the inner guidance as much as possible. For that is true wisdom, is the ability to be aligned with that heart connection the whole time, which is an internal voice, an internal presence. For this voice we become more secure in understanding it's the meaning of things. For Albert Einstein wrote that. Because a lot of people say Albert Einstein said that or said this, but do we really know? We know what he wrote. What he wrote is that the meaning of life is relative to the goods you can do to others. And in many sense, I thought he was quite right on that level. I wanted to finish by talking about that painting. It's called The Heart of Soul. It is the origin of soul that is symbolized here by three circles, which is three prime unities, three what we call the Godheads, the Paradise Trinity, which is the reason why everything that is, because without they are the guarantee that life will go on. Without them, there would be no life, and yet they are just one. They are the great I am. For all soul come from the universal soul, but the soul light frequency is a non-spiritual energy of God. it is a means by which to the light is the mean by which to connect the spirit to the material realm. So it is a transition realm that will lead us to a higher plane of spirit. So we want to fuse within the light to embrace the light as much as possible. This is a spiral from 2008 from the Metacosmic series. I did about 12 of those. They're really nice. This one's really dynamic. It's yellow on the background. There's a lot of yellow and a bit of red. Yellow being the color that symbolizes the center in spirituality. And red being the spirit, the matter, the fire, but also which is the matter. And here the three intertwined circles are silver. Silver being representing it is the light of the future in many sense. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.